Hi y'all, Liz here with your Daily Lizard, and we are talking about habit number 4 from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. This habit is called Go for Win-Win. So the idea here is in negotiation or communication, agreements, etc., that when possible, when it makes sense, be going for win-win. Now, there are times when win-lose makes sense, lose-win makes sense, lose-lose makes sense, win makes sense, and win-win or no deal makes sense. So there are 6 basic styles, and the book explains that these are the 6 styles, and you have a natural style most likely, and once you recognize what that is, you can sort of get around yourself a little bit. So win-win, obviously that's when I win, you win, and we are both focused on the other person getting what's best for them. I care as much about your happiness and your win as I do for my own. I care for it equally as much, right? So that would be a win-win. Now, a win-lose is when I want to win and I want you to lose, because that's the only way a lot of times that people can feel like they win. They feel like they've won when the other person loses. If you find yourself in that scenario often, then you might have to recognize, okay, you are a competitive person and you really enjoy that fight to the end when somebody else loses, so that you can get that burst of win. Look for yourself, look for how you can find more win-win opportunities. All right, the next one is lose-win. Now there's a time and a place for lose-win. Lose-win is when you don't care about the thing as much as the other person does. Whatever it is that they really care about, if you don't care, give in. There's no sense going for a big win-win when you just don't care enough to go for the win-win. All right, the next one is lose-lose. Now, lose-lose happens most of the time when you get 2 win-lose people together. But there might be a time for a lose-lose. I just can't think of any, and I don't think they actually gave any in the book either. All right, the next one is a win. When you're just going for the win and you really don't care about what happens to the other person at all. You just don't care. You don't care about anything other than your win. But for the most part, if you're focused on just you winning, somebody else is going to be impacted by that. So hopefully you can turn your win into a win-win. All right, and the last one is win-win or no deal. Now there's a lot of power in win-win or no deal. Most of the time you will use this when you already have a good solid status quo and you're trying to get to something else. You might decide on, let's see if we can make something better. Let's come up with a better deal. But if we can't, no deal. We'll just stick with where we are today. I've done this with vendors before, right? I want to get a win-win for both of us. I want to be able to pay less money, but I don't want my vendor to, go bankrupt. I need them in business. I like that. So today's daily action is to look for a time in your recent past, and believe it or not, you probably have at least 1 or 2 or 3 of these every single day. So look for a time when you didn't get to win-win. Maybe you got to win-lose, maybe you got to lose-win, maybe it was just a win, and identify how you could have gotten to win-win. It's almost guaranteed that you could. Might have to work a little bit harder. It might take a few months, few years, might take more work than you might be anticipating. But look for that. All right, that's it for today. Talk soon. Bye.